Hi everyone, and welcome back to our channel, Hip Miracles. I'm Jen.
And I'm Shush.
And we're so glad you're here. Today we're actually going to talk about the A word, which is anger. So we're going to talk about how you can start to realign your subconscious mind, your body, and your conscious mind to begin releasing some of that heavy anger. And so if you haven't already, we would love it if you would subscribe and join us on this journey. Your thumbs up and your positive comments really do mean the world to us, and love responding to those. So please do, and join us on this journey. And I'm also drinking grape soda, so sorry. So anger.
Yeah.
Anger is a thing that almost everyone's going to deal with anger at some point in their life. And so people often come to me for what I call an anger release jumpstart session. So everyone is familiar with the term anger management, except I don't like to think about us managing anger so much as we're starting to release anger. And when you release anger, something else will come into the place of that anger, and that's going to be what? That's going to be your joy. That's going to be your control. That's going to be the good stuff. That's
Positivity.
The way this works.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Because when we manage something, what we're saying is that we're holding on to it still, but we're going to control it. We're going to cope with it. And I think that's limiting. And the whole point of hypnosis is to be limitless. Is to be free of the things that we don't want to carry around with us anymore. And anger is one of them. So we often, hear, well, this is why I'm angry, or I don't know why I'm angry. And the good news is you don't have to know why.
You just have to know you are.
You have to recognize that you are dealing with anger and
that you don't want to.
And you don't want to anymore.
You don't want to. And that's where the concept of what I call power trio hypnotherapy comes into play. So if you've been with us for a while, you've watched our videos, you might remember the power trio. So I call power trio, what I mean by that, and when I created it, was I'm talking about the realignment of the conscious mind, the body, and the subconscious mind. Any problem can be solved by aligning the power trio. Those are our three inner entities. So if you're dealing with something that's hurting you, and right now we're focusing on anger, and if anger is overtaking your life, I don't have to know why. I just have to know that you have it and that it's a problem. And this is what I can already know. I don't have to know what happened to you, who hurt you, who betrayed you. I don't even have to know where the anger came from at all. You might not even know. Exactly. Most of the time people do, but you might not even know. That does happen sometimes, believe it or not. All I need to know is that you feel angry and that it's overtaking your life and you don't like it anymore. What I know automatically when you tell me that you're dealing with anger or having anger issues is that your subconscious mind has gotten the idea that you are in danger. So it gets the idea that you are in danger, and it puts up an anger army. So those little green army men? I always like to use those as an example. There's an anxiety army, there's an anger army, there's an army for every emotion. And by army, I'm using that word because your mind thinks that it's protecting you. So this thing happens to you. It could be assault. It could be someone was mean and bullied you. It could be that you went through a breakup or a divorce. It could be that your partner, is doing things that are causing problems in the relationship. It could be problems between, an adult child and a parent. It could be all kinds of things.
Yeah, or even when you were a child, whatever.
Right,
Something that the subconscious understood as an assault. And so instead, and it can manifest in different ways, and we're talking about anger. So instead of feeling another emotion that might be too painful, anger is allowed to be felt.
And the anger makes sense. So the anger comes in as a way to protect. There isn't so much a sadness army, because sadness doesn't bring any protection to the plate. Anxiety brings protection to the plate. If a bear is chasing you, you need to get a little bit anxious so you can run away from the bear. Okay? So in the same way, anger, if someone is coming at you and about to get you, anger comes in and it allows you to
protect yourself,
to protect yourself. And so we understand why. The problem is that the subconscious mind isn't great at breaking down all of the after details. It just goes, something happened, get the anger army out, keep the anger army out. That way we know my person is okay. And then 3 years later, you're still mad.
Yeah.
And 3 years later, that anger is literally deteriorating your life. And you now have this anger army that lives out almost 24/7, which means it only takes something, just some tiny little thing that wouldn't even bother somebody else, and you are in full on anger army mode. Whose life does that make suck? Right. Yours, namely, firstly yours, but I mean also the people around you. You can't live a good life with the anger army out 24/7.
Well, and then the anger part of that power trio is the anger can start to manifest physically. So, right? So now you're dealing with
disease,
health issues, whatever way that
relationship
it manifests,
problems,
right? So
problems at work, no more joy in your life, because anger is definitely just like a Hoover vacuum. It will suck out the joy from your life because the two don't work in tandem.
Right.
They work against each other. So one of the big reasons for cutting the cords and connections between your life and the anger is so that you can live a better life and so that the people around you can live a better life. And I always say, we're not mad at the subconscious mind for creating the anger. It did it with great intentions. And I believe that there is a need for anger. Sometimes anger is what saves somebody. You know, it's the thing that makes somebody go, whoa, wait a minute. This is an unhealthy relationship. I've got to get out of it. Or, well, wait a minute. This job actually isn't for me. So it serves its purpose in the short term, just like anxiety can. Hey, wait a minute. That bear's about to chase me. Better get a little anxiety, a little adrenaline, get the heck out of here thing. But it's when it takes over, when it takes permanent residence,
right,
and when it is the majority that it becomes a problem. So anger release is a big thing. I mean, I'll have people who come to me who have been angry for 20 years because of a divorce that they had 18 years ago that started with, infidelity 20 years ago, and they're still mad. Like it happened yesterday. Except the problem is that the person that caused the anger to begin with, right? The person that was unfaithful, that person's remarried, happy, has a new life and a new family, and there's that person.
Guess what?
Still anger.
Yes.
Still
and still
angry,
suffering.
Still suffering. Their life basically sucks. And the anger didn't serve any purpose. The anger is not helping them. The anger is literally ruining their life, just like Mom said a minute ago. It's causing disease. It's causing health problems. I can see the anger army on somebody's face from a mile away. And everybody looks about 5 to 10 years younger when they start releasing the anger. I see it all the time. But I see that with every problem. Any burden that someone's carrying, when they release that burden, whether it's cigarette smoking, whether it's anger release, whatever it is, everybody looks about 5 to 10 years younger when they come out.
It's truly lifting that burden off of you. You're lighter.
Really
yeah,
it really, really is. So,
and going back again to
Sure.
the subconscious, the subconscious's job is to take care of you. So it believes that short-term use of anger
is helping you.
Was so good that let's hold
around.
on to it, right? So 20 years later, it's not so good anymore. In fact, it's detrimental. So again, talking about the power trio, how do we get everything to align? You know you don't feel good. Your body knows you don't feel good.
But your subconscious mind doesn't understand
understand it yet.
That's where we come in. So you know it. That means that we've got a third of the way there.
Right.
A third of the work is done. You don't like the anger anymore. You want to start cutting and releasing those cords and connections between your life and the anger. Okay, so I can check one off the list there. Now, who else is involved in the power trio is the body, but then also the subconscious mind. So after we work with the conscious mind a bit, like we're doing now. We're talking, right? We're explaining how your mind works. Then we do have to work with the body.
Right.
The body cannot do this on its own, but it is an integral, vital part of the process. Your problem with anger, if you have one, is not just in your mind.
Right.
It's also in your body. It's become a visceral response to your everyday. So, you know.
Right, the pathways, the initial anger that stuck around is creating pathways within your mind.
Highways in the mind and the body. And so what we do after we work with the conscious mind, make sure that this is what you want. You want to start clearing the anger. You want to take your power, your life, your joy, your peace, your happiness back. Then we move to the body. And we use different things. Emotional freedom technique, neurological tapping, sound clearance, energy clearance, different things, so that I know that your body is now on board. So what do I have here? Now I have a 2 against 1 situation. You, your conscious mind, which is only about 10% of your power, but still very important, and your body are now saying, yeah, we don't want to live angry all the time anymore. This isn't fun. And then guess who comes forward all by itself? The subconscious mind, the 90% of who you are, and the part of you that you are not consciously aware of. That's the kicker. That's where the magic happens. So how do we get to that part of you? Well, hypnosis is one of the ways. Hypnosis can be done, you know, with the pendulum and look really like hypnosis, but hypnosis can also be done in a conversation much like the one we're having right now. So all hypnosis means is that your subconscious mind has come forward. Anytime I work with your conscious mind and then with your body, you can be guaranteed that your subconscious mind is going to come forward by itself, mostly because it's thinking to itself, why are my subordinates...
We're out of alignment.
Yeah, why are my subordinates making decisions without me? My conscious mind and my body are saying they don't want the anger anymore, but wait a minute, they don't get to make the decisions without me. So the subconscious mind comes forward with interest. It's like, why? What's going on? How do I take care of my person? Because remember, this is the standard rule across all time, across all space, is that your subconscious mind has only one job, and that one job is to keep you both alive and well. So yes, your heart is beating. Yes, your lungs are breathing. Those things are keeping you alive, but also well. If you're miserable, if you're angry all of the time, your subconscious mind is not doing something right. Again, it's confused. Yeah. So it comes forward and it's like, wait a minute, I'm confused. I didn't know I was confused. I thought that this anger was helping my person. Yeah, I know that's what you thought. And I understand why you thought that, but we're here because that's not the truth. You're actually the one that is hurting your person. And that's when it has the come to Jesus moment. Right. That's when it goes, whoa, wait, I'm the one that's hurting my person? That is not the
intention of the subconscious.
And that's when it kind of like, hands go up in the air and it goes, whoa, I didn't know that. I'm not even allowed to hurt my person. And it's like, yeah, duh, I know. But you have been, and now that you know, what are you going to do about it? And this is the kicker with everything I do. This is the mathematical equation behind everything I do. Natural law, universal law. I'm holding this little thing in my hand. If I let it go, what's going to happen? It's going to drop because gravity is natural law. I don't make it up, and I also can't change it. Same thing. Your subconscious mind is hardwired to keep you both alive and well. I didn't make that up, and I also cannot change that fact, but I can use that as leverage. So when your subconscious mind sees that it's hurting you, it goes, wait a minute, I thought the anger army was a good thing. It's not a good thing. You're hurting your person. They don't like it. They don't want it, and they certainly don't need it. This 24/7 anger army thing is toxic. It's bad. It's stopping love. It's stopping peace. It's stopping purpose. And it goes, well, then I don't want to do that anymore. Yeah. And that's when it's the dumb moment where I'm like, I know
that it begins then to align itself.
There's the shift
with the body,
with what you want,
with what you want.
With what you want is to be joyful again, is to feel good again, is to be connected with people, is to live in your peace and your wisdom and your success and your purpose and your power. You know, the good stuff.
Well, it's even, and you can, in one of the ways to convince the subconscious is to point out, look, this anger is causing sickness. You know, it's causing unhappiness.
So we show it that it's hurting,
right,
and that the only way to help is to actually stop the anger. So that is where the shift begins. So this is part 1 of our conversation on anger release. We are going to come back for a part 2. In the part 2, we are going to actually do a session with you to help you start aligning your conscious mind, your body, and your subconscious mind to begin releasing that anger that's holding you back and hurting you, and allowing you to open up channels and doorways for more love, power, peace, and joy in your life. please do subscribe, comment, and like. We love you, and we'll see you back here again for part 2.